I have the good luck to be able to speak quite frequently about digital transformation and sales demand generation techniques with partners all over the world. While having interesting conversations in terms of how to improve the work they do creating sales pipeline, I found out that many people working in sales or in demand generation positions think that selling is just an art. However, the reality is that behind a successful seller, there is much more science and methodology than most people think. And that statement is even more real into the digital world. So, what is social selling and why is this important for salespeople and relevant to the sales leadership? We can deny that transformation has occurred in the buyer. Today's buyer is digitally driven, is socially connected. Buyers are mobile with multiple devices and are real-time empowered. Therefore, we need to be where they are and where they like to research new products and services if we want to become relevant to them, if we want to get a chance to engage in business conversations. Today in the digital world, 70% of the buying process is done online without customers engaging with salespeople. This new buying behavior has led to three major changes. The first is that today, when we sell software, usually now there's a lot of people involved in the buying decision. So, social helps to very quickly understand who these people are, and going to social networks like LinkedIn allows to look within the enterprise and immediately identify who the players are before the conversations even take place. The second major change is that buyers are leveraging social media to efficiently tap into their professional networks. They do that because they want to build trust, they want to build confidence while they are doing complex company purchases. 75% of B2B buyers use social media to evaluate vendors. And lastly, 90% of decision makers say they never respond to cold calling or cold email outreach anymore. All of these mean that definitely we need to work developing new skills to leverage the social networks, and also we need to learn how to use the tools that help us to efficiently participate on this new digital approach. As you can see, social has become a critical part of the sales process. It is the opportunity to stay connected with customers throughout the entire sales process, and have no doubts, you can create a lot of pipeline from social media if you follow and apply the right process. If I recall what our salespeople in SAP did the last year, I can tell you that close to 100% of the deals involved in some point of the process the use of social media, because social really helps to establish relationships with individuals that could never been able to be reached in other way. Today, we live in a globally connected and informed world, and without social networks, I don't think we could be as relevant. Therefore, social sales, with no doubts, helps you to be more successful in today's world. Let's think in a hypothetical situation. What would you do as a sales leader if I tell you that next door there is an event with about, let's say, 100 potential buyers that perfectly match your services and your products, and that if you want, you can have the chance to get into the event and talk to the prospects, show your value, tell them about your products, who you are, how you can help, and finally start building a relationship with them. What would you say? No, thank you. I'm not interested now. I have enough customers. Of course not, right? And what if I tell you that there are 690 million users on LinkedIn? Out of those, 90 million are senior level influencers and 63 million are in decision-making positions. Also, you can find there 17 million of opinion leaders and 10 million of C-level executives on the network. As you can see, there is a huge group of potential buyers that are on social networks today. Networks like LinkedIn, Twitter, and they are watching videos, they are consuming content, they are reading blogs and actively participating in business-related discussions. And if you, as a salesperson or as a sales leadership, just decide to don't be there, you will never know what your customers want. And the biggest danger is that you will never know how many deals you are actually missing. So you have to be there. You have to be where your buyers are making decisions and learning about which product to buy and not to buy. What is digital and social selling? Social sales is much more than just having an account on Twitter or saying that I am on LinkedIn. It is the behaviors of how all those tools are used to find the right decision makers in social media and show to that people who you are and what's the value you can bring to them. It is not selling just to an email sitting in my CRM or in my Excel spreadsheet, but it is about selling to an individual that you can get to know by visiting their profiles on social networks. Therefore, social gives us an opportunity to humanize that individual before even pick up the phone to contact them, which in my opinion facilitates the process in a very meaningful way by giving an opportunity to salespeople to create faster empathy with customers. Social selling is the ability to connect with a prospect that you didn't know in a personal way from before, and then nurture that relationship digitally until you earn having a business conversation face-to-face with them. And this is probably one of the most fair advantages that you can get in this process. Think about it. What happens if you try to call the 800 number of any company where you want to sell your products and services, and you ask to the front desk to talk to the CFO? Probably after some seconds of silence and maybe some people laughing in the other side of the line, you would meet a gate, dogs, guards, and probably even the police, and all of that kind of things will never let you get to the CFO by phone, right? But if you deliver value on social media networks and position yourself as a top leader, maybe it is going to be you the one receiving the call from the CFO of that company because maybe you have had a conversation on LinkedIn that triggered interest from this executive. So, social selling is just a new way to engage with prospects, and for sure, with the time, you will find out that most of your important relationships were developed through having meaningful conversations on social channels in some point of the process and at certain level. Social selling is not about sending thousands of generic unpersonalized messages to a database, maybe that you have rented or you have bought, but it's about showing the value first and how you are going to solve somebody's problem and then gaining and winning that business to your company. Independently, if it's a 90-day sales process or 200 days process, doesn't matter. Always there is a certain buying behavior that takes place, and because you are on social, you can influence that buying behavior and stay connected to the buyer more than ever you have been able before. In our Partner Digital Selling program, we have seen that successful sellers from partners are able to apply this methodology programmatically and consistently, and that have led them to better results with less effort. We have seen that partners can generate up to 130% more leads using social selling compared to salespeople who doesn't apply the methodology yet. These salespeople have up to 160% more successful connections with top executives on their clients, and they can increase the effectiveness of the sales messages by up to 60%. All of that allows these salespeople to increase the conversion rate from prospect to lead up to 20%. Sales is all about people that build one-on-one relationships. People buy from people that they like, people that can help and have shown value to them. And social selling is not different than that. It is just a new, cleaner, more dynamic channel where salespeople can do things that they used to do before. For example, attending industry events or a convention or even during a sales call. But in this case, with social selling, we use digital means. At the end of the day, all we are doing applying social selling practices is enabling the sales reps to go and start conversations where business leaders and decision makers are today. It's about retooling the sales force to be ready to the digital-enabled new customer. Would you like to learn more digital selling best practices and get all the tools you need like LinkedIn Sales Navigator and Grapevine 6 at no cost? Join our digital selling program visiting the link below and be ready to get on track and grow your sales pipeline. So, see you there.